My name is Bill Griffner. I'm the Director of Architectural Solutions for Fellows, and I'm here to talk with you about our Titan sample kit. This is a demonstration kit and also finishes type kit for a nice long conversation with designers, architects, and whoever else is really interested in all the key details and features that Titan brings. First off, I want you to know this is about a 20-pound box of glass and aluminum and parts and pieces, so be prepared for that. Be aware, it's a two-piece box, simply pulls right off, looks nice and clean for you, and works really well. Very durable. Inside, a critical page. Please make sure you've got this demonstration demo guide, because there are two different demonstrations we're going to be talking about. One of them is to just show interchangeable trims and how the basic trims go together. The second demonstration is all about single to dual glazing and how you convert from a single glazed wall to a dual glazed wall. All the key names and parts and processes and steps are right here in this sheet. And just right off the bat, you'll note we've got a full chain of our smooth finishes for the paints. Similarly, keep looking, you'll see another chain of paints, but if you look very closely, they're a textured paint. Gives it a slightly different sheen, slightly different look for your use. And then also, we included the Wilson Art laminate samples. These are going to be going on our, what we call solid tiles, and those tiles will be part of the rollout coming up in the fall of 25. Then you've got a nice selection of glass. But first, I also want to show you the 1/4-inch materials. These are resin materials from 3form. So you've got a really great selection, a good smattering of what's available. And again, contact your solutions specialist to get the full list of all the available options on our resins. Those are for the 1/4-inch framed tiles, again, coming out in the fall. Then the rest of this is dedicated to glass. So you will see everything from a very plain vanilla clear glass detail, and in this case, a 1/2-inch material. But most of the samples are 1/4-inch because you would just be adding weight, which is unnecessary. So we did most of the samples in a 1/4-inch material, and you'll see all kinds of beautiful patterns. Over here, we start with the low profile trim. Second, in my slot, is the flat trim. In the third slot, I've got a core track. You'll note this is a very plain core track just by itself. This is for the low profile demonstration. The next one I've got here is this very large projected trim, which really gives you a unique look and some interesting shadows when it's utilized. Jump over the glass. This is what we call glass stop, and we will actually be building this into that core track when we convert from one system to another. So again, I'll be showing you that in a little bit. Underneath that is a pre-assembled core track with glass stop. So again, we'll be using this when we get into the two wall systems. This is our very popular accent trim. So as you can see, it's a two-tone trim that really accentuates and gives you a different sort of aesthetic. And then the final slot here carries the devices that are required for the transition or the bridge from wall number 1 to wall number 2. So I'll show you how that works. It actually has multiple functions for low profile or the adjustable height trims. Okay, so we're going to start with the demo. And the first demo is the relatively simple. This is just showing you the low profile trim or the other interchangeable trims and how they work. Now, to be honest with you, we're actually building a vertical wall start connection sort of device. So don't forget to keep your instruction sheet handy. The pieces you're going to need for the very beginning are the low profile trim in the first slot or wherever you've got it. And then the basic core track like this. And believe it or not, that's all you need to get started. The first one, good, is all set to go. So all you're doing in this case is just showing how there are these vinyl clips that are inside the core track, and that's what receives the snap fit of this low profile trim. Now, remember, this is a full height wall system that has to have a lot of durability, so it's going to take some pretty strong snap fits upon occasion. In this case, I got a really good one. It was easy to snap together, but you would normally have two pieces, and believe it or not, that's all it takes to create the low profile trim, whether it's on the floor or whether it's on a drywall or what we call a wall start. We just built a single glazed low profile. This is the detail that would be at the floor, or it could be at a drywall or what we call wall start. Now I'm going to show you how to do a single glazed interchangeable trim assembly. So we're taking basically this same wall apart. Now, because this is a full height wall with a lot of durability, you have to cheat sometimes. An installer doesn't get to slide it out of the end. They're going to have to use tools to snap it out. But during demonstrations, it's okay. Just take this apart, take that clip and put it right back in the slot, and you're fine. You're just doing a demonstration of how this goes together. So what I'm going to do to convert this to a interchangeable trim, I'm going to start with the flat trim. And you'll notice that it's much taller, so it's going to take additional support. Well, that additional support now comes into play with what we call the glass stop. Now, this glass stop is going to integrate into the wall start or into the core track very cleanly. Another key component that you should find in your kit is this Allen wrench. It's the exact size that you need. The installation, and this is what the installer is going to be doing, same thing you're doing right now, is simply put that in place, put the key in here, and when you turn it, you'll notice the cam lock twists inside and locks it into the core track. And that's how we build the glass stop. Now, with the glass stop in place, we can make sure that there's a clip inside of here. I've got a clip, so I'm going to do the same thing I just did a second ago. I'm going to insert that clip in the end here and slide it inside the glass stop. Now, we'll be ready to, again, think of this as a wall start device because this does not have the adjustability that you need at the floor, but it does provide the glass location. So note that there are two connection points on this. So we've got the clip in this slot, the clip in this slot. And again, the installers will get these lined up and they'll push them together, snug. And now I've got one side of a single glazed, flat trim, interchangeable trim wall system. The next thing you can do is look through your sample kit, find a piece of 1/2-inch glass. Obviously, this is a 1/2-inch frameless glass wall system. So look for the thicker 1/2-inch piece. And it normally would be sitting up against that plastic. And now you're getting ready to lock it in. That's where these start to come in play. These are the cam locks that hold the glass in place. So I'm going to take the cam lock and I'm going to push it in. There we go. And then twist it down, and I just locked that piece of glass in place. Then you would take a second cam lock and do the exact same thing again. So it goes in a 90-degree, in this case upright. And then once it's in place, you rotate it down. Now, obviously, the piece of glass would come all the way through, but this just demonstrates how that works. Now what we've done, and I'm just going to turn it this way so you can see what's happening. We've built and created clips here and here for the second side. But just to demonstrate interchangeable trims, I'm going to add a projected trim. Even though this could be another piece of flat, that would be nice, but we're going to do something crazy and mix the trims right now. So again, it's going to take something, but snap them until they are firmly engaged in that clip. And now you have Kind of an interesting wall with two different trim types, but that's the interchangeability. And then thirdly, you can find the two-tone accent trim. And let's just decide, maybe we'll take off this flat trim. And again, because this is in miniature scale, it's going to be harder to work with than when you're actually building a wall. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to slide it off the end. Then I'm going to replace my clips back in place. And obviously, the installers don't get to do this because they're working in the field, but they have the tools that make this work really well and easily. So put the clips back in the slots. But now, where I just took off that flat trim, I'm going to snap in the accent trim. Get your grips out. And there you go. Accent, projected, or flat. Interchangeable trims. We just finished a single glazed interchangeable trim demonstration. Now I'd like to show you the ability to go from single glazed to dual glazed. And obviously we're going to do it with the interchangeable trims assemblies. So first off, we can start to pop the trims off, or again, you can cheat, slide them off and get that piece of glass out of the way. And what we're going to do is build a second wall and reuse this piece of trim right next to it. You've got these M-shaped clips, and what we're going to do is utilize them to build our second wall. So here's that pre-assembled CORTRAK with glass stop. And remember, you want the glass stops to be back to back. They're in the middle of the wall. These clips go down below and they help lock one of the CORTRAKs to another of the CORTRAK. So you put one of those in there, and that's one way to just demonstrate how those are locked in location, and that is purely a location device. Secondarily, you're going to take our bridge trim, and you'll see it's got these little, I like to call them space invaders, I'll be honest with you. And the little space invaders, they slide into the same two pockets that we just played with. So take a moment, line these up, and get them to go inside the glazing pockets we've been talking about. The snap clip pockets. And then they slide in place. Now we're ready to finish side two. So again, if this was a wall start or something like that, it would look like this. And now we're ready for the cam locks that go in place. So because I can't see it, I'm going to pull it around here, push it in straight, and then start to twist it and lock it around like that. And then secondarily, I should have one more. Here it is, cam lock, because there's two pieces or two cam locks for every piece of glass that goes in. And that would lock that piece of glass there. And now, believe it or not, we're ready to finish the second wall, second side. So the same trim that I pulled off of the single glazed is now going to go on side two of wall number 2 and finish off that system. Get them lined up, squeeze. And there you go. So this is a bit of a crazy wall start connection, but it's dual glazed. It's an accent trim here. It's a projected trim here. I could have pulled this off and put a flat trim here or two flat trims or whatever the client desires. But that's the whole point, this ability to go from single to dual glazed and or interchangeable trims. Here's a trick for installers, and especially for this demo because these are small pieces. There is this bead that slides very easily. Go ahead and pull it halfway out and bend it 90 degrees that way, or even 170 degrees this way to put a kink in it. What happens is that kink makes it stay inside the extrusion. Well, you just saw the demonstration. You can see there are a lot of pieces here, but don't be intimidated. If you take it in small bites, small steps, this is easy to go through. If you have any questions, contact your architectural consultant. They can help you build these and show them. But again, we appreciate it. The ability to go have interchangeable trims, the ability to go from single to dual glazed. These are the key features to this premium wall system we call Titan. And hope you appreciate it. Thank you.